Welcome back. You're still watching The Game. In a year full of championships, milestones, and records broken, the journey of the Filipinas captured the entire country's heart. And now, joining us to wrap up our Rewind series for 2023 is Philippine Women's National Football Team midfielder Cam Rodriguez. Cam, welcome to The Game and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Sam. Happy New Year, pal. I'm glad to be back and I'm so excited to do this rewind with you.
All right, just to clarify, saan ka ngayon?
I'm in California.
All right.
Finishing my off-season kasi it's been a busy year, diba?
Okay.
Yes, of course. I mean, Cam, you mentioned it. The last time we talked to you here in the studio, you were in New Zealand with the Filipinas. So let's do a quick rewind. And can you just talk about, this whole journey of the team? It's been such an eventful year, and we are just so proud. Take us back to that time when the team won against Chinese Taipei in the AFC Women's Asia Cup to finally qualify for the World Cup, Cam.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been a busy, I'd say 2 years preparing for this big World Cup event last July, correct? But the year started very bright because our around April or May really set the tone of how the team was preparing into the World Cup. And we had some positive games there and we were able to go against formidable opponents. And ultimately, it led us to prepare and go into our best World Cup yet. And I say this with so much heart and so much pride because I truly believe that this is only the start. And in the World Cup, you're able to really compete against nations. We won again. We had a 1-0 loss versus Switzerland, and then eventually won against the host New Zealand, which we see here now, right? A very, very proud moment, and then ended the tournament with a very warm 35,000 crowd that were basically all Filipinos, and I'm very proud that I was able to witness that. And this journey really has been such a dream.
Yeah, the journey was incredible. And, it was a 2-year journey to go to the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. And there were even, I don't know how to say it, but then there were even, I guess, ninja tactics, okay? There was a secret game between the Philippines and Team USA. There were secret friendlies being played. The Philippines found a way to play in Chile. They played against Scotland, I believe, and Wales at one point. There was just so much build-up here to this particular World Cup. And all this experience coming together, just how do you feel that showed come the FIFA Women's World Cup?
I mean, as a team, after we qualified for the World Cup, we wanted to be the most prepared team. And we are very lucky that our management is very supportive of us and was able to make that happen, right? So we basically scaled the whole world and we went to different continents and played against different styles of play. Mm-hmm. So whether that be a North American style of play or a European style of play, it was really about exposure and hand in hand with that growth. And this growth that we've seen with a remarkable performance in the World Cup, that there has been growth and there continues to be growth because maybe we can touch about it later on, but even after the World Cup, we were able to show how much we've grown in the Asian Games. You were there, pal, and also at the second round of the Olympic qualifiers where we were able to secure, for example, I believe a 3-0 win versus Myanmar in the Asian Games and a 4-1 come from behind win versus Chinese Taipei in the Olympic qualifier. So we could see that we've really gone so far as a team, and just on a personal level, these are opponents that we've sort of been head to head. So it's a good insight as to where we are now as a team, and the rankings have also shown that, and just really proud.
All right, Sam, I'm going to try and steal this for you from a bit because I want to ask Cam in particular, how many times have you replayed that goal from Serena Bolden to actually get the first goal of the Philippines in the FIFA Women's World Cup? Because in terms of hallmark moments in Philippine sports history, not just football history, I think it has to be definitely up there.
That's right. You know,
Too many
Pao,
times, Pao. But for a good reason.
All right, go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, it has been such a hallmark moment just because it was shared. You know, I was there when I hosted that game, and the community present in the viewing really just was so meaningful, and it had an immediate ripple effect because right after the Philippines versus New Zealand game, there's this one game left, right, versus Norway, and I remember like many malls across the country parties, and this kind of impact, if we look back in all the previous years, has been unheard of, and it's just because that you know we had this win and this goal by Serena. And
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
of
such
course,
a team effort, and for someone who's up till that point, it's just very meaningful.
we would love to replay that moment in our heads. It was flashed right on our screens, and you really see the fans' power, right?
Yeah.
Over 90% of them were Filipinos. So I'm sure it was really epic to be there, Cam. So looking ahead, you were talking about growth, right? The Filipinas are currently ranked at number 38th in the world right now. That's the highest ever. To those watching, that's the highest ever by a Philippine team. We're also second highest ranked in Southeast Asian team, just one spot behind Vietnam, and sixth among all Asians. So can you share with us, Cam, what's the vision for the Filipinas in 2024?
Two things. One is to really embrace the responsibility and the accountability of what this growth means. I mean, and that means to show up every time, to have like a never done mentality and not rest on our laurels. But number two, to stay competitive. We have scaled probably 30 spots in the past 2 years, and that's really tremendous when we look at how the rankings work worldwide. But to know also that although we've scaled 30 spots, there's still 30 more teams ahead of us that are better than us. And we need to stay competitive and really just keep getting better.
Cam, we really appreciate your time because I know it's around 2 a.m. in San Diego and it's going to be a bit difficult for you to get to sleep after being on the show. But right before we go here, I just want to ask you what gives you the most hope in terms of the development of women's football and the Philippine national team in particular going into 2024?
It's knowing that the success is being mirrored already by our younger teams. And I mean, and if we talk about Rewind, we can't forget the U17 historic moment as well,
yeah.
where they qualified into their first Asian Cup. So we could see that, this trend isn't something that's just by the women's team, but it's already being reflected into our youth girls team. And recently also the ASCOs have been winning the tournament game. So it really is such a movement, and parang sama-sama tayo lahat dito sa
Well, Cam,
trend, and really
yeah.
so hopeful for 2024 and the years to come.
Absolutely. Cam, it has been a pleasure. It's a trickle-down effect for sure. We can't wait for you to come back from vacation and actually be here on studio instead para hindi ka na naglalag. So we really appreciate you coming on over. Enjoy your break.
Well, she did also mention that she's busy training. So
Thank
it's
you.
amazing,
Yeah.
Pao, like how there's that, inspiration from her. Like, even if it's just vacation, I'm sure she's still, trying to put in some training there. So thanks, Cam, for coming on the show.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all the time. Download Pilipinas Live now.